Hi lovely people! This week I'm doing something a little bit different and I'm doing a tag video.
Dooby 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 doo. Dooby 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 Sophie Vlogs.
The tag I'm doing is the Jurassic Park book tag, which I originally saw on Strip Cover Lit's channel, and I'll leave a link to their video below. I have no idea who created this. It's probably said in their video, can't remember, no idea. But I'll include relevant links below. I'll also include the questions below so that if you want to do it, please do. I would love to see your answers. I have all the questions on my phone, so I'll just keep looking down, but I'm just going to dive into it. Question 1. What's your favourite dinosaur? I have always been a big fan of the Diplodocus, which I also used to call Diplodocus, but I think that's wrong. I am now questioning everything because I didn't Google beforehand. But I like a good long neck. Question 2, Alan Grant. Name a book character you think would survive Jurassic Park. I am going for a character from a series that I am very overdue a reread of, and that is Shrike from the Mortal Engines series, because I feel like one of the main characteristics of Shrike is that he survives, and he just keeps going. So I feel like he would also probably just survive. My other character choice would be Nimona, because I feel like Nimona's practically indestructible. So I feel like Nimona could also just kick dinosaur bum and just get through it and make it out the other side. So those are my two options for that. Question 3 is Ellie Sattler. Name a character who is willing to risk their life to save others. Literally every protagonist from an adventure series ever. But my options are, I've gone for Todd and Viola from the Chaos Walking series. I feel like they are constantly risking their lives, mostly to save each other, but also like the rest of the people as well. But also, Peter Grant from the Rivers of London series is, as he is also a policeman as well as like a supernatural detective, he's constantly throwing himself into danger. And Harry Potter! Like the ultimate I'll throw myself into danger to save other people person. Harry freaking Potter. Question 4 is Ian Malcolm, a book in which you could predict the ending. I'm gonna go with one of like the most recent instances of this, and that is Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. I didn't predict the whole ending, but there were like two big things in that book which I did predict, which is not a criticism because I still really enjoyed that book and I thought it was really great, but that's the one that's most recently in my brain. Question 5 is Dennis Nedry, a character who is willing to put others in danger for their own benefit. This is also another one which I've read really recently, and I'm going to go with Long John Silver, because I feel like Long John Silver would put anyone in danger if it meant he could get his gold. Yeah, he's like entirely selfishly motivated, but in a way that's kind of really engaging, and that's just him. And he's quite compelling because of it, but also in a way that I'm like, I would not trust you in any way, ever. Question 6, Brachiosaurus. A book that took you a long time to finish. Anna Karenina took me forever. Like, probably maybe 3 months or so. And I sometimes it takes me forever to read, like, short story collections or poetry collections because I space them out, whereas Anna Karenina just took a lot of work. I'm still really glad I read it. I did really like it. But in like the last, like they're split into books. In like the last book of it, I was just like, could we hurry it along now, please? Still a good book. Very long. Question 7 is T-Rex, a book you found intimidating but ended up loving. The first time I read the Iliad, I was very intimidated by it because I was reading it for a university module. And when someone's like, ooh, you need to read the Iliad in like insert number of weeks here, you're just like, oh god, how? As it turns out, bloody love it. It's become my bae. But like, at the time, very intimidated. Also, I wrote the title down because I can never remember the full title. Rebels, Voices from the Easter Rising by Fergal McGarry. It was a book that was lent to me. And it was it was post-university, before I started reading lots of non-fiction again. Rebels was one of my first non-fiction books which I read and really enjoyed, but at the time I was a little bit intimidated because I hadn't been reading non-fiction, and it's all about the Easter Rising in Ireland, and it's like first-hand, there's a lot of like primary sources, like a lot of people giving their accounts of stuff. Which turned out to be super engaging and really interesting and a really great way to learn more about that event. But like just before I started reading it, when someone was like, I'll lend it to you, I was like, ooh, okay, a bit scared, but okay. Turned out to be great. Question 8 is Velociraptor, a book that's fast-paced. I'm going to go for the entirety of the Invisible Library series by Genevieve Cogman, because that just doesn't slow down. You're just like, here is stuff, here's some alligators, here's some airship battles, oh, now you're in a different dimension, just kill with it, and you're just like, ah, but also, this is so good, but also, ah, everything's so fast. So good. Also, the book series which I am constantly talking about, Chronicles of St. Mary's, also very fast-paced. A lot of shit happens. It's all great, but it can be a lot. Question 9 is Pterodactyl, a book that flew you to another world. A recent example of this is Saga. Someone at work lent me all of the volumes of Saga that she has, and that was great. I got very swept up in that. Just so good. So good. Need to buy the newest ones. So good. Another example of one which always sweeps me away to another world is Catherine Ann Valenti's Fairyland series. I love that series with all of my heart. It is absolutely fantastic, and every time I read those books they absolutely sweep me away, they transport me, and I just, I'm so sad that it ended and I need to reread them all, they were so good. And the final question, number 10, is Triceratops. Tag 3 people to do this tag. I'm an awkward tagger, so I don't really like tagging people in videos because I don't feel like I know people well enough to tag them or to know if they want to do the tags. I will tag Leah from Leah's Dudish because I know that she likes dinosaurs, if nothing else. I will say, if you are watching this video and think that this tag sounds really cool, please do it, and then please let me know that you've done it so I can watch your video, because I was not tagged. I just thought this sounded pretty cool. So jump in my boat with me. Let's talk about dinosaurs and books, the ultimate conversation. That's everything from me this time. I've got a couple more tags which I'm hoping to do for future videos because I've been watching them a little bit more. So hopefully there'll be some more fun tags on the horizon soon. As for now, I hope you're having a super duper lovely day, and I will see you next week.